There you are. I was looking around before you got here. I already looked everywhere, but March 7th is nowhere to be found. Nope, let's just assume she successfully skipped class. Actually, she's been quite diligent in her swordplay practice and hasn't taken many breaks lately. I think she deserves a day off. Besides, I used to skip classes even more than her back when I was still learning. If I was in the mood, I could train for 3 days straight. But if I wasn't in the mood, none of my seniors could find me. So I can understand where she's coming from. No need. I asked you to come, so I won't send you away empty-handed. Since you're here, let me treat you to some tasty food. I'm more interested in you today. Let's walk and talk. Lingsha told me there's tasty food in Arum Alley. Let's go there.
Dumplings and steamed buns. The buns are huge. Just a few and you'll be full.
A table for two, please.
All right, come on in. What would you like?
Well, we'll have one of everything on the menu.
The entire menu?
Do you think it'll be enough? Oh, don't worry. There are two of us.
Well, then I'll start making a few dishes, and if you need more, just let me know.
Thank you. No, I've thought about it. She deserves a day off. Yeah, I mean, not too much, actually. Grandpa said to never be stingy when it comes to making friends. So, how big is your appetite? Oh, then we can bring the leftovers to Grandpa. Well, to be more precise, I'm interested in your sword. Yanqing mentioned you before. He said that you're not to be underestimated, and that your weapon has a unique shape. So I've always been curious about your sword. How the weight is distributed, what material it's made of, whether it contains any special ingenia, and what kind of sword techniques you use. Seriously? A bat? Yeah, now more than ever. So, it really is a baseball bat. Grandpa said that a sword doesn't have to be constrained by its shape. So, in a sense, your bat is a sword too. He also said that a weapon mimics its master. So, your bat actually reflects your habits and nature, you know? Let me guess. You're someone who doesn't follow the rules, enjoys improvising, and can handle yourself well against tough foes. Am I right? Amazing, right? And I bet you always say something silly like, rules are made to be broken. I've come across so many sword wielders who acted all righteous and moral, but were really just liars. Their swords always told the truth, though. They told me that their wielders were just a bunch of frauds who relied on their divine weapons for everything. I've hunted down hundreds of swords like this so far, and every single one of them has been melted down. Yes, but only for those who cross the line. Melting their swords is my way of protecting those weapons. But just looking at a sword is not enough. Grandpa always says, words and expressions can be deceiving, but in a fight to the death, a sword's movements never lie. The war dance is just around the corner. you'll be participating, right?
Miss Yunli, for talented swordmasters like you, the war dance is a perfect opportunity to show off your skills and make a name for yourself. But for people like her who have already made significant contributions to the Xianzhou, they maybe don't need to prove themselves on the war dance stage. It has been a while, Miss Nameless.
And you are?
Thank you for your introduction, Miss Nameless. I'm Shi Kuei, and I work in the Palace of Astrum as the secretary for the Helmmaster. I apologize for interrupting your conversation. I happened to hear you discussing the war dance. And since this person is an old acquaintance, I thought I'd come and say hello. Yes, with the war dance approaching, many guests from afar are pouring in. Mr. Pavo here is one of them. He's from the distant planet Kalevala. Mr. Pavo's planet recently joined the Pan-Cosmic Trade System. He brought his delegation here this time not only for business, but also to return something that belongs to the Xianzhou.
Miss Shikui, the word gift is perhaps more fitting than return. While it did once belong to the Xianzhou, we faced many tribulations to be able to deliver it here, so it should be considered a gift.
I apologize for my poor choice of words. Mr. Pavo's delegation brought a legendary Xianzhou sword that had been lost for centuries. General Huayan plans to personally thank them at the Palace of Astrum and present the sword as a prize to the champion of the war dance. Mr. Pavo and I were actually on our way there. Since you two were talking so enthusiastically about the war dance, maybe you'd be interested in joining us at the Palace of Astrum? General Huayan will hold the sword gifting ceremony at the Palace of Astrum soon. Are you interested?
Let's head to the Palace of Astrum together. But I am. It's the prize for the war dance, after all. I might not know all the stories and legends, but I know a legendary sword when I see one. Grandpa always asks me to go look at swords with him, but he hasn't said anything about this one. It's really weird, but now that we're invited, let's go and check it out. The hustle and bustle of the world, still so charming. There you are. Come on, let's go to the ceremony together.
Please allow me to offer a sincere compliment, my fair lady. Your beauty is as pure as a snow-white iris. Well, if it isn't my dear friend! Glad to meet you again.
Who is this weirdo? Who is this knight?
I am Argenti, a member of the Knights of Beauty. I was invited as a part of the Kalevala delegation to escort the legendary Mieka Kivesa back to the Xianzhou. May I have the honor of knowing your name?
My name is Yunli.
What a beautiful name! I wonder if you have ever heard the holy name of the pure and flawless goddess Adrilla.
Oh, you're here, Yunli. Didn't expect you to be so well informed. Well, now that you're here, don't forget your manners.
Manners. Come on. You won't find another granddaughter as polite and well-behaved as me.
Well, just remember this is a very serious ceremony. Sorry for keeping you waiting, Mr. Pavo. Now, let the sword gifting ceremony begin.
Before the ceremony officially commences, I want to express my gratitude to the Knight Argenti. Thank you for enlightening us about the sword's origin and for escorting it here safely so that we may complete this ceremony. On behalf of the Kalevalan delegation, I, Pavel Kalistaya, am here to return the legendary Mieka Kifesa to the Xianzhou Alliance, its rightful homeland.
I'm truly grateful for Kalevala's noble act of returning the sword and for the Knight of Beauty's chivalry. Now, as we gather here on the Xianzhou Luofu, I officially welcome the sword back to its homeland. Mieka Kifesa. It's a fitting name for a sword with such a legendary past. I still remember the name engraved on this sword the day it was forged. Gu Yin. It was forged by Han Guang, a craftsman from the Zhu Ming's Flame Wheel Forge.
Wait. Hangguang?
Although its blade is worn and cracked, its essence remains as resilient as the Xianzhou Cloud Knights. All it needs is some repairs and polishing by the skilled craftsmen of the Artisanship Commission to regain its former glory. I've decided to entrust this sword, Gu Yin, to the Luofu Artisanship Commission for restoration. Furthermore, it will serve as the prize for the champion of the Luofu War Dance. This sword will be wielded against abominations to protect our homeland and live up to the mission of the Kalevalan delegation that returned it from so far away.
Thank you, General. It is an honor for Kalevala.
Now, esteemed Knight and delegation members, please head to the Artisanship Commission, where...
No! This sword was forged by Hongguang.
Yunli! These esteemed guests have brought back your father's work. Where are your manners?
Oh, I didn't realize this sword was actually forged by your father. Returning it to its rightful owner is,
Grandpa, give me that cursed sword right now! I'll melt away the remnants of that man's curse once and for all!
Don't be rude, Yunli. Apologize to our esteemed guests from afar.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry for making a scene. But I have to melt down this cursed sword. I won't let it fall into anyone else's hands.
Yunli, please, go for now. This is exactly why I didn't want Yunli to know about this. I didn't want to create trouble, but trouble found its way here anyway. Perhaps it really is divine intervention. Could you, please, keep an eye on Yunli for me? That is a tall order, but I'm counting on you. I apologize for the unfortunate interruption. Let us move on with the ceremony.
Unless I'm mistaken, Yunli should be around here somewhere.
I signed up for a crash course in swords. I signed up for a crash course in swordsmanship.
That's a hefty battleship there.
I signed up.
Stop watching me and say something. If you want, I can make you cry too. Did Grandpa send you to look for me? I bet he did. Really? Thank you. Just so you know, I'm here just waiting for the perfect moment to snatch that sword. And once I have it, I'll melt it down before anyone can react. Don't even think about stopping me. No one can stop me. Grandpa sent you here. Surely he doesn't want you to help me. Have you heard of cursed swords? That sword is one. I guess that's what it means, literally. A cursed sword lets anyone, even a complete novice, wield it with insane skill. Just by holding the hilt, even the weakest rookie can brandish it with incredible speed and strength. I'm not joking around. And I'm not making up some crazy story. While a cursed sword grants instant abilities to its wielder, it comes at a cost. It's like continuously adding fuel to the forge. With each swing, the sword drains the wielder's blood and essence. Day by day, the fuel will run out, leaving nothing but an empty husk. Soon enough, it will no longer be a person wielding a sword, but a mindless, killing machine, consumed by bloodlust and murderous thoughts. I wonder if you've ever heard of a creature called a heliobus. It loves to feed on human emotions and memories, and excels at manipulating its hosts. There was a lunatic swordsmith who infused metal blades with heliobi, as he was obsessed with turning weapons into living things. And this is how cursed swords were made. I know, I shouldn't have caused a scene at the sword gifting ceremony. But I've thought this through. If I don't make a fuss now, that cursed sword will cause a whole lot more trouble. So it's better if it's me causing the trouble. By the way, aren't they supposed to be taking the sword to the Artisanship Commission for repairs? Why haven't they come out yet? Any ideas? Looks like they're not going to show up here. I'll just head straight to the Artisanship Commission. It doesn't matter why Grandpa chose that sword. I won't let it fall into anyone else's hands. I'll track down every single sword he forged and melt them down one after another. Just like I've been doing all these years. I have to go now.
Is she planning to sneak into the Artisanship Commission and steal that sword? Maybe I should keep an eye on her. The Artisanship Commission is so big. Where could she be?
Just a while ago, a girl came up to me, all fierce and demanding directions. She said she's a member of the Artisanship Commission. Do you know her?
No idea who she is. If she really works here, how can she not know her way around?
Yeah, she wasn't big at all. But that weapon of hers was pretty intimidating.
She was in a hurry, heading straight for the Artisanship Commission, and I didn't want to ask too many questions.
She said something like, "I'm a member of the Artisanship Commission. Where do you keep your precious stuff?" I got scared and pointed her toward Master Gongshu's warehouse, where he stores his arumatons.
Wait, why did you give her directions? What if she's planning to steal something?
Where else? Like I said, she was headed straight for the warehouse, where all the valuable arumatons are.
Yeah, that place is filled with Master Gongshu's precious arumatons. I bet they'll give her a hard time.
Good quality, price, hassle-free chartering, high-end barge, the best choice for galactic commerce.
Let's improvise. Let the show begin.
Eternal.
Attack!
Until everything burns to ashes! Set the seas ablaze! Fight to live!
This aroma is much better. What are you doing here? Look, if I get into trouble, it's my problem. I don't want to drag you into it. Fine. Let's smash these metal cans first. Then we can talk.
Dreams do come true. Let the show begin.
Existence is unity.
Detonate!
Until everything burns to ashes!
Treason!
Fight to live!
Attack detected. Enjoying yourself? Be of your body and mind.
Set the seas ablaze!
All will be swept away by the wind.
Let's improvise.
That was the last of them. Thank you for helping me out. This place is heavily guarded, but there's nothing but arumatons. Where is the arsenal? Seems like not even those craftsmen know where the arsenal is. At this rate, we won't find anything. And Grandpa might take me away before I can do anything. You're not really here to help me. You're here to stop me, right? You have a kind soul. But if you want to stop me, you'll have to prove yourself. You probably think I'm being impulsive and unreasonable, right? No, really. Do I come across that way? Well, Well, I guess I can't deny it. Seems like you've met a lot of people who don't tell you the whole story. Look, I owe you an explanation. But this isn't the best place to talk. We need to find somewhere else. Let me be clear, though. I'm still pretty riled up. This is just a temporary break. I already told you about Guyan. The sword that was returned during the ceremony. It's a cursed sword, with a heliobus inside. And Hongguang, the swordsmith who forged it, is my father. I rarely mention his name to anyone other than Grandpa. Maybe, like you said, I've been avoiding having to talk about him. But as long as my mission to hunt down cursed swords continues, it's impossible to avoid the topic forever. For some reason, I feel like I can open up to you. Honestly, I don't remember much about him. All I know is that the Pyrogyre Forge used to be a bustling place, with people from all over coming to get one of his swords. They called him the greatest master craftsman since Yanqing. I didn't catch all the details, but I do remember seeing him forge those amazing swords, while the visitors watched with smiles on their faces. I used to believe that craftsmen brought happiness to others. The swords crafted by the Pyrogyre Forge are famed across the stars. They possess exceptional sharpness and invincibility. With these legendary weapons, even ordinary people can become skilled warriors, capable of overcoming the most formidable opponents. But then, he became obsessed with becoming a famed swordsmith, and started crossing all sorts of lines. He forged cursed swords that should never exist. And all those people who desired those twisted swords started flooding into the palace. However, just like Grandpa said, those who excel with the sword will eventually suffer by it. The palace was overrun with visitors from afar. Some left empty-handed. Others got swords that didn't fulfill their desires. And some even resorted to stealing. And in the midst of all the chaos my father created, he ended up being stabbed by one of the swords he forged. It was so sudden and unexpected. Everything went silent for a moment. All I could hear was the sound of bones breaking and blood pouring out. I was frozen in place, unable to move. It was only when my mother pushed me away from the deadly swing of the cursed sword that I managed to escape. I don't remember much after that, except for the pounding of my heart and the sound of my own gasps of breath. I could hear the smiths in the Pyrogyre Forge shouting, "Run away, Yunli!" and the screams of agony. My tears wouldn't stop, and I couldn't see anything. I kept gasping for air until I collapsed in a pool of blood. General Huaiyan hadn't arrived in time, I probably wouldn't be here talking to you now.